Now must your conscience my quiescent seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. With you have heard, and a knowing ear, that he would hath you, noble father, stained, pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me, why you proceeded not against these fears, so criminal and so capital in nature, as by your safety, greatness, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unensued, but yet to me they're strong. The queen, his mother, lived almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague, but either which, she is conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in the affection, work like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gibes to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I have aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into deep rate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age, for her perfections, but my revenge will come.
Not your slaves for that. You must not think. There we are made of stuff so flat and dull, that we can let out beard. He's shook with danger, and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I love your father, and we love ourselves, and that I hope we will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, the others to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your keenly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest came back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand.
This Hamlet's character, naked, and in a postscript here, he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so, how otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Ay, my lord, so you will not overrule me in a peace.
Mine own peace, if he thine by now return, as shaken at his voyage, and that he mean no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fail, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it so, that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since you travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing for a quality wherein that you say you shine, your sum of parts do not together pluck such envy from him as that one, and that in my regard are the unworthiest stage.
What part is that, my lord?
A very ribbon in the cap of youth, yet needful too. For youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears, that settled age at his sables and his weeds. Important health and graverness. 2 months since here was a gentleman of Normandy. I have seen myself and served against the French, and they can well on horseback. But this gallant had witchcraft in it. He grew unto his scar, and to such wondrous doing brought to his horse as had been in corpse a demi-natured with the brave beast. So far he topped my thought that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, come short of what he.
A Norman, was it?
A Norman?
Upon my life, landlord.
The very same.
I know him well. He is a brute indeed. A gem of all nations.
He made confession of you, and gave you such a majesty report, for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier more especial, that he cried out, 'twould be a slight indeed, if one could match you, the scribes of their nations. He swore it had neither motions, guard, nor eye. If you oppose them, so this report of his did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming over to play with you. Now out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Now that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passage of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it, and nothing is at a like goodness still. For goodness growing to a pleurisy, dies in his own too much, that we should do when we would. For this would changes, and bad abatements and delays as many, as there are tongues, our hands, our accidents, and then this should is like a Spanish grip sigh. Then that hurts by easing, but to the quick of Duckler, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake? To show yourself indeed your father's son, more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close with your chamber? Hamlet returned. Shall you praise your excellence, and set a double vanish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads? He, being remiss, will not pursue the foils, so that we ease. Or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in pass of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bind unction of a mountebank, so mortal that, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue, under the moon, can save the thing from death. That is but scratch withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that I'll gall him slightly. It may be death.
Let's further think of this. Wait, what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second that might hold if did blast in proof. Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunnings. I had it. When in your motion you are so hot and dry, and make your bouts more violent to the end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice of nonce, whereon by sipping, if he by chance escape your venom struck on purpose may hold there, but stay is what not.